And we're live. Hello, everybody. You know who I am. I'm Mark. At least I hope you do by now. We got a lot of good people in chat. Let's start with the introductions. Hold on a second here. You figure I've been doing this for a while. That'll be able to know it. All right, let's go through the list of people here. I see two Stans fishing in the house. What's going on, Stan? How are you, bud? Stan was live on Stan Day Live again. Did a great job. Betty Jean Cross, a couple crosses fishing. What's going on, dear? Thank you as always for coming in. I also want to say, D, how are you, D? Get hooked on D fishing. I want to make sure I get everybody. Also, Cindy, if you're listening out there, hello, Cindy. And Katie Dockery, if you're listening, hello, Katie. I want to get that out. Those special people out right away. Again, Stan, hello. Betty, hello. Avid Fisherman, what's going on? Brian B. Catfishing, another one of the crew members. What's going on, Brian B? Catfishing Dreams, what's up, Brandon? How are you, sir? Catfish and Pappy, what's up? Another crew member, Chad Nolte. You know, I say this every podcast. Chad Nolte name, that name just sounds like fishing, doesn't it? Joey, it does sound like a fishing name. Another crew member. We got Chris Middleton. What's going on, Chris? Hello again, Cindy. Dale Hayslip. Fins and Finds. What's up, Bob? Fins and Finds is out of Missouri. He was a guest on I also do Panfish Nation. He was a guest on there. We ended up talking about metal detectors. That was a really cool show. Fishing with the Chad. What's up, buddy? Crew member Chad. Fish Smack. How you doing, Trey? Fish Smack is going to be our guest on Thursday night on Panfish Nation, so make sure you tune into that. That's going to be a fun show. He's a real nice guy. Good man. Got a opportunity to talk to him on the phone and through email. I think it's going to be an excellent show. Georgia Fisherman, what's up, my friend? Hello again. Get hooked on D. Hooks and Hammocks, crew member. What's going on, Hooks and Hammocks? How are you, Chris? I appreciate it. J&S Outdoors. People are shifting around. Joe Buck 66, Mad Catter Catfishing. How you doing, Richard? Maurice Kaysen, welcome back, sir. Mike Sampson, what's going on, Sampy? Mike Sampson, it was my first interview back when I first started. It was actually on Avid's channel, Avid Fisherman. He gave me the opportunity to come on Friday and give him a break while he had to take care of some work stuff. So Sampy's always got a dear place in my heart as far as guest goes. We have Mr. Gadget Fishing. What's up, sir? Muskrat Adventures. How you doing, Roger? Papa Ed. Philip Williams. Robert Andrews. What's going on, Robert? I see him coming back time and time again. Thank you very much for doing so, sir. Sean Abney, sir. Finn's Catfishing, love that name. My buddy Corey over at the Flatty Daddies. If you ever get a chance, check out Corey's channel, the Flatty Daddies. That man can catch some flathead. He's getting a lot of blues. He's slaying them over there on the East Coast. The Weekend Angler, Josh, was a guest on my show last week. That was a wonderful interview. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. Tim Molina, another crew member. Tim is awesome, dude. Tim, we got to start talking a little barbecue. I hear you and Mr. Chavez were talking. Tirador Arco, what's up, Al? Al just has a new video out. He got himself a small flathead, I believe. Well, it was a good size flathead, I believe. It was a big channel. Forgive me, Al. I watched so many videos during the week. I try to keep up with everybody. It was a very nice channel, if I remember correct. Twisted Fishing TV, another crew member. What's going on? How you doing? Let's see if I missed anybody. I'll go through the list real quick again. We have a Camel Muncie. What's going on? Or Carmel Muncie. What's going on? Catfish Dreams, Brandon. Catfish Regulators. What's going on? Chad Nolte, Chris Hazelton, Dale Hayslip, Ernie Brown. If Chrissy Brown's around, hello, Chrissy. Want to make sure I don't miss any of the ladies. I think I got everybody. I'm kind of scanning through the list. They're coming in. We got a Cheryl Shelby. What's going on, Cheryl? Bullocks, the Bullock Experience. What's going on, Kelly? Kelly's having a Doc Demon tournament. Go to his channel, check that out. And I think I got everybody. If I missed anybody, I will come back, definitely. So let me scroll through here. Everything's going on. I think we got everything in order. Welcome to the Catfish and Crappie podcast. My name is Mark, and today's guest is Joey Middleton. What's going on, Joey? How you doing, sir?
What's going on, Mark? Thanks for having me, brother.
Hey, you got it, man. I've been wanting to have you on for a while. I see all your stuff on social media, and I know you do a lot of stuff in the tournament world, and you catch a lot of big fish. If you guys look at the thumbnail for this show, that's a big. How big is that fish?
That one was 64. Now, don't let anybody fool you. I don't catch a lot of big fish.
That's okay. We'll get there later. Just let's stick with the 64. Let's impress the people in chat. That's a big, good looking fish there. So let's start out at the beginning. Where are you from, Joey?
We are located in Western Kentucky, Madisonville,
Okay.
just outside of Paducah.
And is that somewhere where you've been your whole life, or are you a
No, we've been here going on about 3 years now. We're originally from Central Kentucky, Lexington, home of the Kentucky Wildcats. So
we have a lot of people from Ohio and Kentucky in the chat room, people I know, and one group of them seems to think that Kentucky is the wrong side of the river, and the other thinks that Ohio's the wrong side of the river. So, I'll let you guys work that out amongst themselves. Thanks for posting that link, Betty. Once again, we are having the podcast live on YouTube, so if you ever choose to watch us live, you can. We have a full chat room today. We have over 50 people in chat, so if you want to come in and partake, you never know what's going to happen. All right, so how'd you get started fishing, Joey? Excuse me.
Since I was a little boy, my papa, he would put a fishing pole in my hand and tell me to get lost.
All right, now you'll have to forgive me. I'm a city boy. Papa, is that your dad or your grandpa?
My grandfather. Yes, sir.
Grandfather. Okay. That's what I thought. I like to get things straight, though. I'm learning to say words like y'all and Ohio and stuff like that. I appreciate for everybody to accepting a city boy like me. So that's pretty cool. So what are some of your fondest memories of fishing with Papa?
There's so many. It's really hard to pick out just one. But, we our family was down Somerset, Kentucky, down on Lake Cumberland. And I can remember, him trying to get up early on a Friday, morning or a Saturday morning, sneak off. And well, you weren't going to beat me up when it came to fishing. So, I'd be sitting there basically in the driveway waiting on him. He'd say, jump in the truck. So, off we go. And just, as a kid going down there and that big water and, just being with him, it's just, memories that you just never forget. So.
Ain't that the truth? And it kind of has an impression or leaves an impression. And that's something I know that I try to hand down. I'm not fortunate enough to have any kids, but we have kids in the neighborhood. I have nieces and nephews, and I try to pass that down. And that's just as fun as going fishing, at least to me. So
absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about, Jim Stanley's in the house. What's going on, Jim? I also saw, Georgia Fisherman. I've seen a couple people coming in here. Dale Hayslip, what's going on, Dale? Avid, I said hello to you. I think I got up, and we got Lynn. What's going on, Lynn, over at Catfish Fever and Outdoors? So you do a lot of tournament stuff, or you run a lot of tournaments, don't you, Joey?
We're just getting into the on-site tournaments, our charity tournaments. But, since I brought BKPC out, we've done a lot of online, smaller tournaments, just big fish tournaments, things of that nature. One thing that we really want to do is we want to give some of these bank guys an opportunity to get in and be competitive and fish a little bit and, kind of the little guy. We want to give the little guys a chance to get out there and be competitive and kind of showcase, their talents and their fish. And so, we've done a lot in tournaments.
I know a lot of bank fishermen, and I would not call them little guys, man. There's some big bank fishermen out there, both in size, stature, and attitude and skill set. So, okay, let's take a step back. What's BKPC stand for, Joey?
BKP stands for it started out as Bank Kayak Pond Catfish Nation. And, the longer we were in it, we had bass guys, we had walleye guys, we had some guys that, just like doing carp. So we just kind of abbreviated it and, said, let's go with BKPC. That way it would be a little more inclusive for everybody. It wasn't just, reaching out to just catfish guys because, in fishing, we're all brothers and sisters. And, I like to fish for anything that'll bite. So
brothers and sisters is a great way of saying it, man. We're like all family. My family has grown so much since I really got involved in the catfish and crappie world and fishing in general. I mean, it's definitely enriches one's life. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Fishing can do a whole lot for somebody, not just on a fun back. I mean, but mental health, physical health. It's a great release, man. I mean, you don't get much closer to nature than you do when you're fishing. So
You're out in it. Somebody had asked me a question. What drives me? And it's being out in there with what the man upstairs has created, which means pretty much Mother Nature. Something about being part of the big picture, which is how I feel when I'm out fishing. So I can totally understand that. So what do you? Are you bank fishing now? Are you boat fishing, kayak fishing? How are you going after the big?
I do mostly bank fishing. Everybody wants that boat. It ain't always in the pictures. So, but I really enjoy my bank fishing too, because I can remember as a little boy in Eastern Kentucky in the mountains, we didn't have boats, but man, I tell you what, we could sure take you to some good bank spots, and being able to set your chair out, build a little fire, there's not much like it. I like my bank fishing, but now I like that boat fishing too, though, because you get out there and have a better chance of getting those monsters. So
I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I miss bank fishing a lot. Our bank spots are limited up here. There's also a lot of politics that goes into bank spots in such a heavily populated area. But just like you said, there is something definitely to be said about sitting in a lawn chair with a cold drink and a campfire or a bonfire going right next to you. I'm with you on that, man. It don't get much better than that.
Don't get much better.
I find myself fishing longer when I'm doing that. Maybe not harder, because boat fishing could be pretty hard, but yeah, I definitely get it. So what's your bait of choice? It's a kind of a trick question.
Well, I mean, I like to have good fresh skipjack. Like I said, I target about anything that'll bite, and most times, I tell people I'm out there feeding the fish more than I am looking to catch them. So, I'll go out with a live bluegill. I'll go out with Jello chicken, whatever is there, and can get me out on that water, because just having it in front of the right fish at the right time, you never know what they're going to bite. I've caught fish on crazy things before. So I'll throw anything out there.
Yeah, there's the whole Jello chicken controversy between everybody, but I just think that it's just guys giving each other the business. Stan, thank you for your support, Stan. I really appreciate the super chat, my friend. I really, really appreciate it, and you being a crew member as well. Thank you very much, sir. So yeah, everybody tells me that the Jello chicken catches fish.
I used to do a lot of pond fishing when I was in Lexington, because we weren't real close to rivers or anything like that. And, we had a lot of golf course ponds that we would, some we were welcomed at, others, and maybe not so much welcome, but the Kool-Aid chicken and the magic bait and the hot dogs, and man, they did great for those pond channels. But one thing I have learned, starting to fish the bigger waters and chasing the bigger trophy fish, it's not going to be consistent. I mean, I have caught a few decent, little blues or flatheads on, hot dogs or Jello chicken, but it's few and far between. I mean, you really want to put in front of them, I think, from everything I've seen, kind of natural, bait in the areas. So Creole just put his vote out for chicken. He actually put his money behind his vote too. Thank you, Creole, very much. I'll let you post chicken emojis for that, buddy. Thank you. Jeremy's a good guy out of Louisiana. I adore his friendship so much. It's always fun to give each other a bunch of problems, or a bunch of give each other some crap. I'm trying to think of the nice word, because like I said before the show, yeah, I'm trying to figure out a way of saying it. So and that's all fun, Mark. I mean, and that's one thing, in competitive world, you give each other crap, but we got to each take a step back sometimes and look and think about our words, because you see some of these, one reason we really started BKPC was we would go into some of these other groups, and you would ask questions, or you would try to show off a fish that you were proud of, man, and people would just get brutal with you. I mean, you really got to take a step back and think about your words sometimes. And
You're 100% right, and that tells a lot about your character too. I kind of do the same thing, and it goes back to how you're raised. I was always told by my mom, if you can't say something nice, don't say it at all. So
Right.
you keep your doubts and your hater to yourself, and go on from there. But it's all a part of it. Is I think it's just on a I just think it's on a grander scale in social media. I mean, my
Oh,
friends,
absolutely.
well, who's the most brutal people around, or the most brutal people I encounter with my fishing stuff? It's like my best friends. They're horrible, man. Oh my God, are they horrible? They want to see pictures of scales and this and
Mhm.
that. And it's like, oh my God. So do you do a lot of solo fishing? Do you have a group of guys besides BKPC Nation?
I've got my group of guys. When I started BKPC Nation, I had a couple guys, Jeff Leister and Brad Boyle, and we developed a friendship, and they really helped. And they become fishing friends. They'll come in and visit, once or twice, 3 or 4 times a year, and we'll fish little local tournaments together. But honestly, mostly it's me and my better half, me and Rosa. We'll get out and we'll put our chairs in the back of the truck, and we'll go find us a bank spot that we know we probably aren't going to catch any fish, but she's wanting to catch them, and she's probably telling people he don't even know how to fish. He's takes me to these spots, but I tell you what, we have a good time. We got stories to tell. So
That's a great part of it. And here, hence Chad saying, "You catch fish?" Question mark. See what I mean? Another Kentucky boy. I like Joey here. Don't make me badmouth Kentucky in front of him, Chad. Jim Stanley's in the chat too. I think he takes part in some of your stuff, doesn't he?
He does, yes. Jim's been around with us, pretty much since day one, has always supported us. And, it's because of guys like that we're able to do what we're, able to do. I've done a lot of things, Mark, and I know people probably look sometimes and say, "Man, this guy's just all over the place." We've had tackle for sale. We've done all kinds of things trying to find our niche to where we could get in and maybe get in front of some of the right people to go on with the grander scheme of what we're doing, because we really like helping people. I started it because I was going through some hard times in life, and had some health issues, and and then one thing right after another. And one thing that I found that, the group and helping people really helped me get through my hard times. And so, we've got guys that have been, so loyal and, have supported us since day one. And, it's because of guys like that, even when it was probably been easier to just set it down and say, "You know what, I don't want to do this no more." We kept going and kept, trying to find our niche. And I really think that with these charity tournaments, that's kind of where the man upstairs is guiding us to go, because that seems to have been the one that's really kind of sunk in and is doing pretty well. So
I can definitely relate with everything you just said, man. Life isn't easy. It's better when you're fishing. Fishing with friends kind of helps you through it, and even when that gets hard, they pull you along, and it's always a good thing that they do, because you're always happy when you get out on the other side. So
absolutely.
And
you just never know what somebody's going through, Mark. I mean, people can have the most positive look on the outside, and you just don't know what they're going through on the inside. So take a minute to help that person, even if it's just a hey, nice catch. I mean, sometimes a little comment like that can pick that person maybe up to a little bit better spot than they were before. So
I couldn't agree with you more. I don't know how much to say or whatever, but I heard a big name guy in the industry explain to me one time that you don't know who's watching what you're doing, or where they're at in their life. Always be kind to them. Always watch your manners, and remember that you're, no matter at what level, you're representing the sport, and keep that into consideration. I think you're definitely doing that through your charities and being here today, trying to get the word out about them. So let's talk a little bit about the charities, which are linked in the description. A couple of tournaments you're doing, correct?
Yes, sir. We've got 4 that I think we're going to try to run annually. We just finished up our first one, which was the Tackle 22, which is a great organization. Eddie Anderson with that, what he does to try to bring awareness to, the 22 suicides a day by veterans, which is just, one's too many. But, these guys, without them, I mean, where would we be? We wouldn't be doing what we do. So we had that one, and we battled a few issues during that tournament. We that's when the gas pipeline or the oil pipeline had, been hijacked or whatever it was. And so people were scared when we first got down to Rogersville. There was all the gas stations had plastic bags over their pumps. And so I think that kept a few people away. But I tell you, I think we ended up with 30 boats. But to me, Mark, it wasn't 30 boats. It was 30 boatloads of family members that came together through, even a rough weekend to get out there and support these guys and these vets. I think we had 27, 28 vets on the boats, and to see those guys out there just smiling and, to see some of these company owners, getting together and, getting along with one another just to support, man, it was touching. It really was. And that moment's when I knew that we were heading in the right direction with what we were doing. So
that's such a good cause, man. I can't say it enough. I mean, the issues that guys, men and ladies go through that you don't see on the outside, and to be able to bring some attention to that and get people to pay attention to our vets and what they're going through, man. That's a great thing. So mega kudos to you on that. So everything from fishing to freedom to what you're doing. There's a couple of people out here by me that do the same thing, and I'm seeing that actually spreading throughout the country, which is a good thing. It's a well-needed thing.
Right. And then we've got 3 more coming up this year too, Mark. We've got one coming up July 31st, and that's in Middleton, Kentucky. And we're teaming up with a really good friend of ours, MC Norris, who is the founder of Fishing for Autism. And I had met him last year at the tournament up there, and it was a birthday bash. They to raise funds for autism awareness group here in Kentucky. So we teamed up with him, and we're going to make that an annual tournament. And then in October, we're doing one that's really near and dear to my heart. It's the Isaac Strong Classic, which is for our little buddy Alex out in Isaac out in Oklahoma, who is battling leukemia. And that one's going to be in Alabama on Gunnersville. So that one's special. We're going to, really they're all special to me, but that one kind of holds a special place in my heart.
Okay.
And then we're going to close up in November with Back the Blue. We're going to be working with and raising money for Alabama COPS. They do work for families that have lost a loved one in the line of duty. So we're going to do that one in November. We look forward to that one too, because I think with today's times that these officers definitely need a little support from everybody. So I look forward to that one as well.
That's very impressive. Most people like to help out once in a while. You're doing it 4 times a year, and you're leading the charge. I mean, I can't think of 4 better causes. Everything from soldier suicide to autistic children and Back in the Blue. And what was the third one that was near and dear to your heart? I don't have that one.
Isaac. It's for childhood cancer.
Childhood cancer. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can't think of
Mark, we would love to do more, with the more reach that we can get, and that's what I try to tell people. People ask, well, how can we help? How can we help? People don't realize how much a share will help somebody, because you never know who that's going to get in front of. You might find that one person that cause, and they get in touch and be able to take that to the next level and really make a difference. So, when you see people, with these, groups, like, I want to give Catfishing for a Cause. These guys, I didn't even really know about them until here recently, but they're going on their 9th annual catfishing tournament, to where they, help people in Alabama that have disabilities, challenged anglers, basically. Robert Tallman and Cheryl Shelby, great people. I mean, there's so many great causes out there in the fishing world that I don't think a lot of people know about, because they don't get the attention. I don't know if people just don't share, it's just not in their, agenda or their next step to getting where they want to be. But guys, there's a lot of great causes out there. Get out there and help some of these people. it don't cost nothing to share a post or to share a tournament or a fundraiser. That's kind of what if we all pull together, we're going to get a lot more done.
Maybe we can get people to look at it this way. For every 5 fish pics that one posts on social media, maybe shares a good cause in the meantime, in between all of those. Get involved, get the word out. It's kind of hard to be able to give to all of them, but if you can just pick one and try to get a little bit of help going in that direction, it makes all the difference in the world.
Absolutely.
Really does. So if anybody out there, any YouTubers out there, there's quite a bit of them out here want to take part. You know how to get a hold of Joey. His links are down in the description. Join the BKPC Nation group on Facebook. He's always posting stuff on there. I know he has, and I'm guilty of not sharing all of the stuff out, being too busy, but I'm going to make a more conscious effort to help you out, Joey. I really appreciate what you're doing.
And, not just for us, Mark, if you see somebody, one of your friends out there that is sharing I know in today's time it's hard, but if you see them sharing a GoFundMe, $5 may help. We do a lot of fundraisers, and I'm doing some 50-50 raffles and things like that. And, we'll raise anywhere between, $25 to a few $100. But what a lot of people don't understand, that 125 could be groceries for that family for a week. It could be a birthday present for a child that they weren't going to be able to buy a birthday present for because life got in the way. It's not always about the total amounts. It's just about, even if people just see that somebody out there cares, get out there and help somebody. It don't cost nothing to help.
And you know what else? Take a kid fishing, because once they get into this fishing world and they get exposed to people helping people, they might do so as well. So don't just take them fishing and get them to fish. Taking them fishing could turn into the next Joey Middleton.
Let's don't wish that on nobody.
I sure as heck don't want them to turn into me. The world's got one of me. That's enough.
That's enough. Yes, sir.
Cool. So now you say you're doing more like in-person tournaments. Were you doing online tournaments at first?
Yeah, we started out, man. We started out super small, Mark. We started out doing giveaways for, whopper ploppers and, fish hooks. And then, I've always wanted to do tournaments. So we started out and we would do just little online tournaments for a weekend, and we'd have 5 or 10, group members that would do them. And then we started our annual Big Fish tournament. And last year was our biggest year. And I think we had about 75 entries into it. And we did it through Tourney X, which was really good for me, because when you got 75, 80 people, submitting every fish that they catch, it's a little overpowering. So, we've changed up some formats. Now, one thing that we're getting ready to do is we're getting ready to start our bank trail, and it's going to be solely for bank guys. 100% bank only. And, I really want to make it a really legit trail. And because, you see a lot of these guys out there that they don't give the bank fishermen the respect that they deserve. Because I'm going to tell you, I know a lot of bank guys out there that could compete with the boat guys from the bank. So I look forward to that one, because that one's kind of, like I said, I'm a bank guy. We're looking to get a boat, but I'll always have my bank gear ready. There's something about it. But we're working on that, and it's going to be a good one. It's gearing up. We're going to run it just like any normal trail would be ran. We'll have a point system. We're working on trying to get some sponsors in to help with some guaranteed maybe trail money or whatever. But, we got a lot, and, I get a little bit overwhelmed myself. So, if I ever forget something, or if I ever say something, you never see anything else, just, shoot me a message and say, hey, did you forget about this? Because there's a good chance I probably did.
Yeah, it gets involved. Even just doing a little show like mine, it gets pretty overwhelming. I can imagine trying to manage all those anglers and all the fish they're turning in. It's quite a big task that you're taking over. And one more thing, we have a lot of we have a lot of good bank fishermen out here in the chat. So guys, get a hold of Joe if you want to partake, test yourself against some of the other anglers that are out there on the bank, and cool. Maybe we'll get you on a couple of the other shows too. So, all Are you going to be in the tournaments, or are you just watching?
No, we'll go in and we'll sit up at the launch, and if anybody needs to bring in fish that are struggling a little bit, because one thing that we're really passionate about too is CPR. We want to definitely protect these fish for future generations, and so we'll hang out and talk to people that come up, may have questions, and we want to get it to a point to where it's kind of almost like little carnival, catfish carnival of sorts of launch, getting people involved, coming in, hanging out, waiting for these guys to come in to weigh their fish in. And right now we're just hoping people show up, but we'd like to see it get to the point to maybe where we look like Extreme Home Makeover or something.
Catfish Carnival. Do I see a dunk tank in your future?
You might, funnel cakes and dunk tanks.
There you go. You can raise a couple. I have enough enemies that'd pay money to dunk me in a dunk tank. Might raise some money that way.
Well, I was going to say that might be the best opportunity for us to raise money, because I'm sure there's a lot out there that like to dunk me as well. So
I like that idea, Catfish Carnival. That's going to stick with me now. I'm going to be looking out for that. So Joey's Catfish Carnival, that's pretty cool.
Coming to a town near you.
Yeah, we got a couple other people that join us in the chat. We have Uncle Josh from One Ton Fishing Club. They're a big group of bank fishermen. Dan's Creation Adventures. What's going on, Dan? Ryan Bortz, Blue Collar Fishing. He's a kayak guy, but I'm sure we can get him to fish off the bank. Ryan, you're late, buddy. He has a question for you. How do you do bank weigh-ins?
That's a great question, actually, Ryan. We have gone to the length and girth formula. Now, a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, well, it's way off. It's way off." Personally, I think it's spot on. I mean, I've paid. I've done a lot of fish. We've done quite a few tournaments, and it's been within a couple pounds. And not just that, but if everybody's using the same formula, it's fair. But to make it easier, because when you're trying to weigh a fish, if you're fishing by yourself on the bank, it's hard. So basically, you'll do the length times the width divided by 800. And honestly, it's usually within a pound, 2 pounds of being on par with a scale that would weigh. In my opinion, I think that's probably a little more consistent, because you got so many different scales out there that are going to weigh so many different, weights. So I haven't had any issues with it yet. So that's the way we do it. We'll do the length and width formula for weigh-in.
I think what comes to mind right away is the biggest advantage of that is those fish are CPR'd right away.
Absolutely.
Where they're caught, they're put back. They're not being moved from pool to pool to pool, which is, we can argue about that all day. But the fact that they're going right back in that what is it? Lather, rinse, repeat. I've heard it called, which is a pretty good thing. I want to say hello to, speaking of vets, I want to say hello to Want to Be Outdoors. What's going on, Matt? Another crew member. Thanks for checking it out. I hate missing anybody. People that come. Pond River Boys, what's going on, Pond River Boys? Gabby's dad's in the house. What's going on, Gabby? Gabby's dad. That's him right there. I think you'd want to get Chad more than me. We got Dockery in a booth. He'd get all sorts of attention and money raised. What's going on, Alicia? How you doing? All right, cool. So, did you do any fishing this weekend? Let's get on point here with the fishing, and we'll go back to your charities. We'll plug them again at the end, but let's give the people some fishing content here. Tell me a little bit about your fishing style.
It just depends. I mean, honestly, even like on a boat, you have a lot of guys that like to do the drifting and the using the boards and things of that nature. I like to throw my bait out and sit. I'll find a spot, not only that, but the older I get, the less I want to move around, especially when I'm on the bank, which probably hurts my fishing a lot too. But I'm really not going out, truly chasing big fish. I'm going out chasing, a release and, escape from everyday life. So, I'll throw around here. We have to throw about 8 to 10 ounces out to get it to stick. I'll run the Sandy rig. If I'm one, if we got hardly, no current at all that won't keep the bait up, I'll throw a Kirby rig or something on to get that bait up. But, honestly, Mark, when it comes to fishing, I'm not the one that's going to give the best advice.
I'm
Because
not asking for
I'm not the
advice.
best
We're asking about
fisherman.
your fishing style. I like to keep my shows more about the anglers and what they're doing. I'm not looking to educate everybody all the time.
Right.
I think it's right now we're learning about a lot about your big heart and all the hard work you put in, to helping all these people that need it. And now I want to give you a little bit of attention about what you like, and sitting there waiting for the fish to come by. There is nothing wrong with that. There's no reason to say that you're not the one to talk to, because you're exactly the kind of people I like to talk to.
I go out there and throw big baits.
There you go. Big baits. You get Lyle Stokes all excited when you start talking big baits. So what's a big bait to you, Joey?
Well, it depends. I've thrown out Chris Riley, a good friend of mine. That guy, the bigger the bait, the better. I mean, we'll go out with him and he'll throw, half bodies that big. We've been out and he's thrown, pound and a half carp out before, so, around here, our skipjacks that I catch aren't that big. So, a big bait for me might be a head, 3 or 4 inches long, or, I have been watching a lot of other people and they've been doing kind of a butterfly with their shad and stuff like that. So I'll try anything I see. I'm one of those guys, but I do. I mean, because the way I look at it, if I'm going to go out there and sit for hours, if something does hit my bait, I want it to be something big. So I've been told the bigger the bait, the better. So that's what I throw.
And I seem to agree. I have a saying that elephants eat peanuts when it comes to catfish, because they really do. But in the meantime, you're fighting all the dinks off too. I'm not going to lie about that. And I had it was over a 1 pound bullhead I was using. I think it was a week before last, on a float, and that sucker went down. And I'm not going to lie when I said my heart started racing. It sure as heck did. I didn't hit him, but it still got me all excited. So yeah, I get the big baits. I really do.
Like you said with the dinks, and where we fish, it's so rocky that if you get that good cast, you want to basically leave your bait alone, because if not, there's a good chance you're going to lose your whole rig. So the bigger the bait, if those little channels are down there, just pecking on it, you're going to have bait. Or around here, we got a lot of issue with a lot of gar. So, if they're sitting there tearing on it, you still got a little bit of bait to leave it out there for a while before your bait's gone. So that's really why I throw the bigger baits.
So are you using mostly cut bait?
Yeah, mostly. I've never had a whole lot of luck with live bait. I spend more time, I feel like, when I use live bait hung up, and that bluegill's trying to take me places that it knows it shouldn't be, and we're up underneath the rock. Or
hey, those floats, like those Kirby rig you mentioned, they'll help you out a lot, at least for me. I mean, I do a lot of bullhead fishing, at least when I can find them. This year I can't get them because of weather conditions, but that's another story. You'd be surprised how good a float will keep a bullhead out of some rocks.
Man, those Kirby floats will float a bull shark itself.
Well, I use the same popper floats as those when I get those big baits on there. So yeah, right. I believe they will. I actually won a set of Kirby floats. I need to get out and use those. I haven't had a chance to use them yet, but they look pretty interesting. I want to say hello to Bill of Wrights Fishing. What's going on? I think we had a couple people in here too that came in. Parker Pursuits, Miss Cindy Stokes, Jason Lamb. We got people coming in all the time. We got 66 people in chat here. That's pretty good. Joey, you're a popular guy.
Yeah, we'll put it on me. That's probably all you there, Mark.
I don't know about all that. People usually will pay to get me in a dunk booth or pay me to leave. So I'm always grateful to see everybody in chat. I just want to mess around with them a little bit. So what kind of gear are you using? Are you a bait caster guy, spinning reel guy?
I do like my bait casters. It took me probably 3 years to get used to throwing them before I was ready to, throw the rig in the water. But, once you get used to them, I mean, as a bank guy, especially, you're not going to get, further out than what you are with the bait caster. And, once you find that one that really works for you, you stick with it and you go with it. So
I know some of them surf guys fishing big surf, man. They get baits out there pretty far with a spinning reel. I've seen those.
Mark, I've got guys that are asking about RC boats and drones taking baits out for these bank tournaments and stuff. So there's I guess a lot of ways to get the bait out there.
Hey man, look at the catfish industry where it's gone in so little time, man.
Yes.
I mean, people are going to use their brains, and there's a lot of smarts out there in the fishing world. I mean, we're trying to get an animal that can be anywhere, in 500 yards where you're at, to come over to your little, even 10-odd hook. Eat your bait and trick them into doing that. So I can see that. So where do you stand on using drones and RC boats and stuff like that?
Tournament wise, no, we're not gonna. That's just too much. I think it's a cool idea. I mean, do I want to go out and buy a drone and see how far I could take my bait out? Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea. But on our tournament side, yeah, we're gonna have to stay away from anything motorized to get that bait out there. So
drones are like boats. It's best to have a friend with a drone.
Yes, I agree.
At least in YouTube, it is for sure. I have a good friend who took some drone footage for me that I'm still trying to get over there. It's just a huge file. Long story, anyways. So what kind of length rods are you using?
I use a 7.6.
You do? You're not one of them 10-footer, 12-footer guys?
No, that's too much rod. I struggle to throw the 7.6.
I'm the same way. I got some 8-footers. I got a couple of 10-footers that I probably need to sell. I hardly ever use them.
Right.
But I know there's a couple of guys like Avid out here at Chad. He uses big 12-plus footers. We have a guy here locally that uses like a 15-foot surf rod just so he can get them on top of a dam. Long story, but it works for him.
Yeah, I saw a video the other day. A guy here in Kentucky has a 43-foot extendable rod that he uses for crappie fishing, because he said he could get it basically right over top of where he wants to be. But if you get a chance, look it up, Mark. It's something to watch.
I will check that out. I've seen rods like that actually on I think it was on a catfish and carp video where he was using really, really long, almost like cane poles, right? And he was catching fish with those. And the guy just wants to vertical jig, for he wants to vertical jig and not have a boat. I can kind of understand it. So
I can get it. Yeah.
How's he hold that thing? What's it made out of?
Left and right. I mean, he was good with it.
I hate to, even a 1 pound crappie that's 47 feet out, science and physics is telling me that's going to be quite a task.
Well, he had it down to an art. He could pull it behind him, and he had a little roller system, and he could get that thing apart pretty quick to where it came down to about a 5.5-foot rod, I think. So
I'm definitely going to check that out.
And to beat all, he was from Kentucky.
Let me ask you, gar. We have no gar here. You had mentioned gar. Gar don't bother live bait, or do they? Will they kill live bait?
Man, gar will bother anything anywhere. Gar is like my nemesis. Those gars will have you they'll have you wore out after about an hour. Anything and everything you throw at them, they're just going to sit down there and if you use bails, your bails are going to be ringing constantly. If you got your, bait clicker on, it's going to sound like you're having a great, pull, and it's a gar. So
we don't have them up here. We just have turtles, which I'm sure you have down there too, and they'll do the same thing. Sir. They'll drive you nuts. So yeah, we got some really bad words going towards gars too. Yeah. They got to be bad. So.
Gars, people complain about Asian carp and stuff like that in bass world, but man, our gar around here is it's something to talk about for sure.
Did you ever think about targeting a gar once in a while?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, I'm one of those guys that I like to fish for everything. I really love trout fishing. Trout fishing is probably one of my favorite things. I'll go for gar. I'd like to learn how to do a little bit more targeting of carp, some of these big carp and stuff that these guys catch. Honestly, Mark, I love fishing. I learned loving, new styles. I love, seeing people's passions for the different species. And, it's just cool to get out there and catch anything. And like I said, when I fish, I'm not truly targeting a whole lot. I'm out there fishing, anything that come and pay attention to my bait.
You're drowning a lot of worms then, I take it, huh?
Oh, absolutely. Worms, I don't know how many things of chicken liver I've, thrown in rivers and ponds. And, back in the mountains, we had a lot of creek chubs. They were great bait, and I honestly, I enjoyed going out club fishing, getting a little bitty old hook and some breadcrumbs and, just having a good time.
Yeah, I have a good time bait fishing. I'm not gonna lie. As long as it's not the middle of summer and I'm hard up for bait, I'll have a good time bait fishing. But when I'm hard pressed for bait right before the spawn goes, that's where I get a little nervous trying to get out on those. So chubs are a great bait, man. Chubs, suckers, they work good up here. You can buy them, but I'm not paying $8 for an extra large sucker up here. Yeah, they're getting out of hand. What are they charging you down there for skipjack?
It depends on where you go. Here in Kentucky at our little bait shops, man, they're super proud of them. You're looking anywhere between $3 and about $5 a skip, which guys are paying it. So I guess if they're paying it, but we have guys that come out for our tournaments and stuff, and they'll sell them for $2, $2.50 a skip. So. But with today's busy times, if you don't have time to go out and bait fish, you pay what you got to pay, I guess.
Believe it or not, that's on my list of fish to catch as a skipjack. I've never been skipjack fishing. Do you do a lot of that down there?
I don't do a whole lot of it here. Like I said, I'm a bank guy, but like when I go to Alabama and I get out with Matt and Samantha, and we'll get out there, and there's nothing much more fun than sitting on the back of that boat and reeling in 4 or 5 skipjack at a time. And down there in Alabama, they got those nice big skipjack too. So it's fun. It's probably one of my best bait fishing things that I like to do. So
yeah, Betty Cross was telling me a story about when they were down in Alabama, how much fun she had skipjack fishing with Jay Null, or the regular dude fishing guy. She met him down there, and she was talking about that was probably one of the highlights of her trip, except for catching the big fish, but it was fun.
Right.
And I want to thank Dee for sharing out the Facebook link to your group, Joey. We have a lot of good people here in chat, and they take good care of me and the guests, so I appreciate it.
Thank you, Dee. I appreciate that.
So any plans for this week? When is the first tournament?
We just had the first tournament. Our next one is July 31st for Fishing for Autism. So we're just kind of hanging out and, kind of trying to promote for the future ones. And hopefully eventually Rose is giving me a hard time. She said we got to get out and get fishing ourselves. So, we haven't been fishing.
That's what I was going to ask you, if you had time to fish for yourself. What's the plan for the weekend?
This weekend, I think she's going into Lexington for one of the kids' birthdays. So we're doing a tournament with Fishing for Autism on Taylorsville Lake. Actually, they're hosting one this weekend, Catfish tournament. So I'll go down there and fish that while she goes in and does the birthday thing with the kids.
And do you, and Rose is?
That she's my better half. She's the boss lady.
Does she fish with you a lot? Are you guys a fishing
She does.
couple? She does.
She's my favorite fishing partner for sure.
That you're a blessed man. I don't have a fishing partner. My wife can't stand fishing.
Well, I swore that the next time I was ever married that she was going to be a fishing partner. So, and she's been probably the best fishing partner I've ever had. So God bless me with that one.
Very cool. Oh man. So what else you got going on, Joey? Tell me a little bit about the start of the group.
Like I said, we started it just for me as kind of an escape. And, I met so many good people that, even going through some of the things that they may have been going through at the time, were just so quick to be there to try to help pick, me up or somebody else up. And, it kind of grew on me, man, to see how much it helped me. I said, well, if it helped me that much, then, what can we do to help others? Mm-hmm. And, I don't mind to talk to people. I don't like doing, these Facebook lives and these YouTube things, because I kind of like more being behind the scenes. But, I like to get out and I like to coordinate things, and I like to put things together to try to help people out. So, it stuck. And, we went through ups and downs. We tried things. We had, people that love us. We've had people that hate us. But, we've just consistently stuck with it. And, now I think we're at the point that, if we can reach a couple more of the right people, we might be able to really get to that next level of helping people out and truly make an impact. and help more people out. You know, we would love to travel around all over and do these tournaments and fundraisers, but you know, it's a lot of work. I don't think people understand sometimes how much work goes into these tournaments. And, you know, when you put together these fundraisers and things of that nature, it's not just, hey, we're doing this, we'll see you there. You know, there's a lot of behind the scenes that people don't see. But, you know, with just reaching that one person, you know, you never know. It might be your key to the next level. So we're going to take whatever God puts in front of us and we're going to go with it. You know, if it's like this and it never gets any bigger, then we're blessed. We met some great people, and, you know, we've helped some great people, and, you know, we'll just continue to do it at this level.
Very cool. 4 tournaments a year, man. That's a lot of work. I'm just thinking while you're talking about that, what's some of the behind the scenes stuff that you got to take care of as far as getting the actual location set up? Do you need to get permits? Do you have to talk to DNR people? How's that work?
You know, I've been blessed with the permit thing. Jarrett Tempest with River Rats has really helped me with all the permits and things of that nature. Not everywhere requires permits. I know you get out in places like Texas and, you know, areas like that, man, they're all about permits, and, you know, you got to have a permit for just about everything. But, you know, you just trying to promote, trying to, you know, get, you know, people to show up to fish, trying to get sponsors to, you know, help you bring people in to, you know, be interested to come fishing it, to donate things. You know, making sure that your launch location's going to accommodate, you know, the amount of people you do have. You know, once you get down for tournament weekend, you know, making sure that you don't have 60 bass boats right on top of you as you're doing your tournament, you know. So it's stressful, but, you know, I think the more you do, the better it gets. You know, the main thing is just, especially for smaller, you know, tournaments and smaller guys, is the stress of, you know, getting people there, you know, the promoting part, because when you're small, you know, you're doing a lot of the promoting yourself. So, you know, you got people that you're upsetting because you know, you're sharing your tournament to their group, and they don't want all the, you know, advertisings. And so you're sending messages, asking permission, and, you know, sometimes you're, you know, doing things and hoping that forgiveness comes. So, you know, it's a lot, but, you know, it can be fun too, because you get to meet a lot of people. And see, with us doing the charity thing, we're blessed, you know, all the way around, because it's not necessarily that we're out there, you know, trying to make, you know, a name for ourselves. We're just out there having fun, trying to help people. So you're not really getting your feelings hurt if people say no, or, you know, you're not expecting too much out of it other than just being able to help a little bit. So, you know, I enjoy it. I bring a lot of stress on myself because, you know, I over promise things, and, you know, I don't like, you know, being a failure. So I'm going to go a little bit extra on everything I do. So, but I enjoy it. You know, it gets tiresome sometimes, and I feel like it takes away from a little bit of my personal fishing time, but I enjoy doing this just as much as I do fishing. So.
Well, you definitely sound like you have a lot to give, Joey. So it's kind of hard to say no to people when you're that type. I happen to like to think I'm the same way. I've been told the same way, and sometimes saying no goes a long way. It usually helps
Right.
in the long run. So if anybody has any questions for Joey, you know how to ask questions in chat. Put a couple of question marks or special characters before it, and I'm sure he'll be happy to answer them. Oh,
Mark, I'd like to add one more little thing.
absolutely.
Invite everybody. Like I talked earlier about COA, which is Catfishing for a Cause. They have a tournament coming up June 19th in Arkansas. These guys, like I said, they do a lot for physically challenged, mentally challenged, you know, people to get out on the boat and out and fish. They've been doing this thing for 9 years. So, I mean, it's an established tournament. Guys, if you're in the Arkansas area, or if you want to travel to Arkansas to fish, give Robert Tallman a message. This is a great tournament for a great cause, and, you know, it's nice to see those things take off. So if you get a chance, check them out. It's COA. They're on Facebook. Go give them a like and help those guys out.
Very cool. We got a lot of good people here. I'm sure we'll check it out. And if you, if you message me those links, or actually, I don't know if you're a member of the Catfish and Crappie group. I got like 4,700 members. So if you want to post that stuff on there, please do. Guys, check out the group page too if you want to get that stuff. That'll probably be the easiest way. Or just put a post up on your group on BKPC. I'm always worried I'm going to say it the wrong way. Did I say BKPC? There it is on the screen.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to double check it. So yeah, even better. Why don't you do that and then share it out to my group? I'd be more than happy to do that and get you set up on there. Hold on a second here. Let's see what Betty says. I share Joey's group and tournaments on Fishing with the Chads 2 Facebook pages. Also helping with anything, just give us a holler. You definitely want D on your side.
Thank you very much, D. We appreciate that. Definitely.
D and Betty are assets to the fishing community more than you'll ever know. So, well, actually, you might find out. If they like you, you'll find out. Cool. Well, Joey, we're coming up on 9 o'clock. I want to thank you very much. Do you have any sponsors that you want to give a shout out to?
I do have a few that I'd like to give a shout out to, Mark.
Please do.
First of all, I'd like to thank Jarrett Tempest from River Rats. Man, Jarrett has, came in and basically Jarrett's ran tournaments for a long time, been in the industry for a long time. And he came in and just, without even meeting me for the first time, has just helped tremendously. I'd like to thank Charles Crook with Meat Hunter. He's the guy that introduced me to Isaac and his family, last year. And, Charles does a lot behind the scenes that nobody ever sees or hears about because Charles is kind of like us. He likes to kind of stay in the background. Also, I'd like to thank Steve Henderson from CARC, who donates a lot to a lot of these charity tournaments and these smaller, fundraisers and stuff like that, which a lot of people don't realize that when guys like Steve, donate, it does so much more than just, give prize money or whatever. It brings a little bit of attention, to us smaller organizations and stuff. So, Steve, thank you for what you do for, that. Cat River Anchors, they're always first in line to help out with these giveaways. River Rodders, Rod has been with me since day one, makes a great, rod holder. And then last but not least, I want to thank Lloyd Bell. He's the owner at Numa Designs. He does all our jersey work. And I tell you, Mark, anytime we have a fundraiser, Lloyd's on the computer before I can even get on the phone with him, donating a jersey to raffle off or, whatever. So, there's tons and tons more. But, those guys, Dale from Dale's Tackle, Aaron Churchwell, they came in and fished our tournament. And, just them guys showing up really helps these tournaments out too, because, people want to fish with those guys. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that sometimes those guys really realize how much impact that they can have on the, some of these smaller, charities and stuff like that. So, we're blessed and, we appreciate everybody that helps us. And I'm sorry if I missed anybody, but, we try our best to get people's names out there because that's what it's all about.
I totally agree. Look at me. I'm a wreck if I miss somebody in chat.
Well, because it's nice that people help, and you want to, that's one thing that sets our group apart too. Is that we don't care. If you want to advertise your company, if you want to advertise your YouTube channel, whatever you want to do, come in. We ask that you be fair and not post it 17 times a day and completely clutter up the feed with it, but. How else are people going to find out about things if, we're not able to share in these groups where everybody does, so.
Thank you for your support. I appreciate you, Kevin. It's Kevin from Palmetto Cats. Thank you very much, my friend. Also, Stan is sharing out your links too, so that's great. Joey, I want to thank you so much for giving me your time to be on my show. I really appreciate it. I want to wish you all the luck in the world, and if there's anything that I can help you with, let me know. If it's within my reach, I'll be more than happy to do so. Man, yes, I wish I lived a little closer to all that stuff. I'd be hitting each and every one of them. So
we'll start marking your calendars for next year, maybe.
That's probably a good idea. You said Gunnersville, and I'm all about that. I've been wanting to fish that for a long, long time. So
we'd love to have you. Come on down anytime.
Fantastic. All right. I want to say goodnight to everybody. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you to the crew members. I really appreciate your support. It helps make this show possible. It helps get the software needed, the services needed, and all of that stuff. I really appreciate everybody. We got Fishing with the Chat on Thursday. We got Patriot James on Wednesday. Roger tomorrow at Muskrat Adventures. Thursday night after Fishing with the Chad, we have a very special guest, Fish Smack, Trey Bolton on Panfish Nation. I'm really looking forward to that show. So tune in. Friday night, we got Stan's show. Saturday, we got Mike Greenwell, and then we got Palmetto and Avid on Sundays. We got a lot of fishing shows going on. We got Fishing 101, I believe, is another show out there on Wednesday night at 8:00. Forgive me, I forgot who's having that. And also Kelly over at the Kelly's got his show, What's in Your Tackle Box? And I zoned on the Experience. Sorry, Kelly, I forgot your channel's name. I'm on the spot here. Somebody will bring it up. I'll promote you next week. All right, everybody. Thank you. Have a great night. Hold on, Joey. Don't go anywhere. We'll see everybody on Thursday night at Panfish Nation, and then again Monday for Catfish Weekly and the Catfish and Crappie podcast. Thanks, guys.